Rejection. It's the coldest of closures, the deadbolt on a door you were once invited to knock on. And yet, like a shadow creeping back under the doorframe, she returns. The same woman who turned away, dismissed your worth, perhaps even disrespected you, now reappears as if guided by an invisible pull. Why? This is not coincidence, nor is it random. It is psychology, power, and something far more primal. To understand why women come back after rejecting you, you must look beyond words and actions, into the undercurrent of feminine instinct, validation dynamics, and the quiet war of dominance and desire. Let's begin. 1. Rejection is rarely absolute. Contrary to what many believe, most female rejection isn't final, it's conditional. When a woman rejects you, she is not necessarily rejecting you in the absolute sense. She is rejecting your value at that time. She is responding to the version of you she perceived, weighed, and perhaps too quickly discarded. But value shifts, status evolves, energy changes. And if you transformed after rejection, physically, emotionally, socially, she may return not because you changed for her, but because now she sees you with new eyes. In many cases, the attraction was always there. It was simply clouded by her own expectations, emotions, or the presence of other options she overestimated. Women operate by social proof and emotional reality. When you rise in either of those categories, they notice, even if they're silent about it. 2. The psychology of the one that got away. Rejection has a strange side effect. It creates the possibility of regret. In men, it often translates into obsession. In women, it simmers more subtly, like a scent that lingers long after the source is gone. Female psychology is uniquely attuned to missed opportunities. This is biological. Women are wired to select high-value mates because reproduction is inherently more costly for them. When they believe they've misjudged, turned away from a man who later proves his worth, it triggers an emotional dissonance. This dissonance doesn't vanish. It festers. It whispers. He was more than I thought. That whisper becomes louder when you move on, when other women begin to orbit you, when you carry yourself with calm detachment and unbothered masculinity. Her ego, once inflated by your pursuit, now feels a void. You are no longer seeking her. She is no longer the prize. And so, she reappears, not just to reconnect, but to reclaim. You are now the one that got away, and women are drawn to what they feel they've lost unjustly. 3. The power shift from pursuer to prize. The moment you stop chasing, something shifts. At first, she may feel a surge of power. She rejected you, you're out of the picture, but in the vacuum of your absence, something else fills the space. Silence, mystery, and then curiosity. And curiosity is the gateway to desire. When you were pursuing her, she was in control. She dictated the terms. But when you walked away, without resentment, without neediness, you flipped the dynamic. You became the one who decides. You became scarce. And scarcity breeds value. Most men crumble after rejection. They plead, beg, or spiral into bitterness. But the man who uses rejection as a crucible, who grows colder, sharper, more focused, is a man reborn. That man becomes dangerous, and women feel it. 4. Emotional imprinting and unfinished stories. Every interaction leaves an imprint. You may think she forgot you, that your time together, however brief, meant nothing. But women don't forget energy. If your presence was dominant, seductive, challenging, or emotionally stimulating in any way, she remembers. The human brain clings to unfinished stories, and in her mind, you are a story without a satisfying ending. Maybe she chose someone else. Maybe she was scared of how deeply she felt. Maybe your confidence threatened her ego. Whatever the reason, the ending felt incomplete. And so she comes back to finish the story or to rewrite it. Often, it's not even about you anymore. It's about her unresolved feelings. You represent a mirror, a memory, a moment when she felt something rare, and in a world of shallow validation that stands out. 5. The dark allure of the unavailable man. Women are not drawn to what is easily theirs. They are drawn to tension, to unpredictability, to the man they can't quite figure out. Rejection can make you that man, if you let it forge you. The seductive power of the unavailable man is undeniable. When you stop giving her attention, when you turn your energy inward, when you disappear and re-emerge on your own terms, women take notice. You become the mystery, the unanswered question, the enigma. You don't need her, you don't chase her, you don't wait for her, and that makes her want you. This is not about games, this is about energy. The man who is grounded in his purpose, who refuses to be emotionally derailed by rejection, who knows his worth with unshakable certainty, that man becomes a gravitational force. And many women, especially those who once dismissed him, find themselves pulled back into his orbit, often without understanding why. Conclusion: rejection is not the end, it's the test. In the dark theater of attraction, rejection is often just the first act. What follows is more revealing. Do you crumble or conquer? Do you become desperate or distant? Do you chase or evolve? Women come back not because they suddenly see your worth, but because you forced them to reevaluate it. You made them feel your absence. You became something they couldn't define. You triggered the oldest human fear, missing out on something extraordinary. And if you've truly become extraordinary, not just in her eyes, but in your own, then she will return. Not out of love, not out of guilt, but out of hunger. Rejection then was never your loss. It was the spark that set your transformation ablaze. And now she returns to witness the fire she thought she extinguished.